Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Yoji. I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up video and answer some of your questions, reply to your questions about my Flameblast build guide that I recently did. Because there were a lot of valid points you gave, and I just wanted to address them as well as showcase the build a bit further and give you an update on where it is right now. Because it is quite a bit further than it used to be. Right, first thing a lot of people said is, why are you not using a Doryani's catalyst? And the main reason of this is basically I forgot the item exists, and yeah, it's pretty much best in slot. Get as high cast speed as you can, because with low cast speed, Flameblast does not feel good, but with high cast speed it's pretty nice, and get as much increased elemental damage as you can. I got a pretty good one, and it's so good. A good way to get cast speed is this enchantment on my boots right here, 12% attack and cast speed if you've killed recently. You can get this in the Merc Lab even. For boot enchants I usually just run Merc Lab because it's faster and it's the difference is not that big. Other than that, I want to reply to a question I got so much, and that's why I'm not using 2 golems, because there's the... Oh, that's the wrong button. There's the passive node Liege of the Primordial, which reads increased damage of each damage type which you have a matching golem. So Fire Golem would give me 40% increased fire damage, which does double dip. Elemental golems are immune to elemental damage. That actually makes them live longer. And 100% increased buff effect from golems, and you can have an extra golem. So what this does is, if you look here at the golems, the Flame Golem gives you increased damage. This also double dips because it's general damage, so we would get a lot of that. And this would be times 2, so overall we would get fire damage and 40%-ish. Again, 40-50%-ish damage from just from the golem, and we will get a lot of cast speed from our lightning golem. And there are a few reasons why I did not go for this and instead went for Pendulum of Destruction. One of the reasons, but not a very big one, and it's also one of the reasons is I don't have enough decks. That's also one of the reasons I dropped the blind gem from my cast when damage taken setup, because I just didn't have the decks after swapping around some gear and just put in Vortex. Because it slows enemies. It's better than nothing. Not great though. So yeah, that's one thing. I would have to actually upgrade my gear a lot and get some pretty high dex rolls to level a lightning golem. And the other 2 main reasons are golems. First of all, they tend to die a lot and distract bosses a lot. And the problem with that is that if you are dodging attacks from the boss, and you always expect the boss to aim the attack at you, so you're kind of circle, the boss shoots in your direction, and you kind of circle around. But if the golems keep running around the boss, they randomly target the golem, and you can actually run around them, and you could randomly get hit, and you didn't expect them to aim at a different direction. And people have died to this in hardcore. I have died to this in hardcore. I've seen many other people, for example, Rise died to this in hardcore when he was fighting Tunnel Trap. And yeah, overall, I don't think it's worth the risk just for that. The other problem is chain maps. If you run chain maps and you have 2 golems, normally chain maps are not that much of an issue. They're a bit of an annoyance, because you will just get hit by more projectiles, even if your decoy totem or your one golem gets randomly hit. It's already annoying because you could just get hit more, because they will then chain off to you even though you dodged the attack, the golem didn't, and you get hit. But if you have 2 golems, it's even worse, and you can actually have scenarios where there's triple chaining happening. So something chains to one golem and then to you and then to another golem. Or if it's an arc witch, they can even chain the golem to you, to another golem, and then back to you. And that's very dangerous. So I don't like that at all. And I don't like to spend 2 ascendancy points, which in my book is very big, a huge investment, just on a bonus that I cannot use in a chain map. So it's a map, one less map mod I can roll comfortably. I just took the other node, and it's a pretty good node. AoE is nice, elemental damage, double dips. It's great. Also looks fancy. You see this blue swirly? That happens that signals when the buff is up. Oh yeah, I got a 6-link. That's important. I still think the 6-linking process is bullshit. I ended up spending 1,447 fuses, something like this, to get this 6-link. But yeah, now I got 20 gems. I just did not hit any 21 Flameblast. So I have 20 gems basically everywhere. I think my in-game AoE is 21. Yes, get lucky. And with that setup and the 6-link, I actually have a shit ton of damage. And that's the last thing a lot of people were concerned about. Is the damage of this build actually high enough to do the highest tiers of content? And I got a little bit of footage here for you to just see how much damage this build does, and you can basically judge yourself if that's sufficient for you. Remember, this is a hardcore build. It's pretty tanky. It has almost capped block, has a lot of effective health, and it can actually also survive those high-end encounters, as you will soon. But yeah, here's the damage, and I probably shouldn't showcase my damage in an enfeeble map. Not sure if it will be enough here, but let's just see what happens.
Make the ground shake. Make the ground shake.